Sorrel, thank you very much for tuning in. So, today's a little bit of a different video. I want to talk to you guys about the retro toys that I am currently hunting. I want to talk to you guys about the specific... can't say that word now. I couldn't say retro a minute ago, now I can't say specific. I want to talk to you guys about the specific toys that I'm looking for when I go toy hunting. There is my first Comic-Con of the year coming up at the end of the month. Whilst we are there with our stall as well, I'm hoping Mrs. Soup Sorrel will be happy to hold the fort while I go off searching for some of these awesome retro toys that I want to review on the channel. As you know, over the past year or so during lockdown, I've begun my own little toy hunt and been searching for retro toys via Facebook and eBay, and I've really enjoyed doing that. And you guys have enjoyed seeing me gather up like small soldiers. I've actually managed to get almost a full run of the entire small soldiers line, and you've seen me recently hunting down the Dracula figures, the Universal monsters, and even moving into Street Sharks and Monsters in My Pocket, and even more with the Terminator 2 line recently, along with some Kenner Predators. I am really enjoying hunting those kind of toys down, and I want to hunt more toys of the 80s and 90s. That is the era I grew up with. I grew up in 1989, and my first toys were probably around the early 90s. So everything I picked up was usually from car boot sales, which meant that a lot of my toys came from the 70s and 80s. So I had things like the rock hard wrestling figures that were like posed, like you had the Shawn Michaels that was like that, and then you had the Hulk Hogan that snapped the hands together, and I had all those really cool action figures. Not only that, but I had a full run of things like Thundercats, He-Man. I had most of the TMNT line, Masters of the Universe. I had all sorts anyway, and I've lost those over the years, as you do, growing up, moving out, moving on in life, and then rekindling my childhood as I've gotten older with more expendable cash. And I think that goes for most of us that are like 80s and 90s kids. A lot of us seem to be doing the same, and the toy industry is cashing in massively on that right now. While some of these lines do exist today, like the Kenner re-release figures, then don't hold the same nostalgia for me. I've been trying to get into that, the real Ghostbusters line, but I've not been enjoying what Kenner's putting out, so therefore, well, Hasbro, under the Kenner line, but what I want to do is I want to go back and try and find some of those figures. So guys, with that in mind, let's take a look at my list of action figures that I'm looking to find whilst I'm retro toy hunting and whilst I'm going to thrift stores, things like that. So the first thing, obviously, is Street Sharks. You guys know that I've really been enjoying my Street Sharks. I have 2 right now in my collection, but there's so many I'm missing, including Slam Fist, my absolute favourite. I've got Hammerhead right now, and I've got the Headbanging Shark, thanks to one of my followers, which was really awesome of him to send in. I am toy hunting anything that's on this list, by the way. If you guys are selling it yourself and looking to sell them on, by all means get in contact with us via Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, whatever it may be, and I will definitely look at any photos you have and be willing to pay shipping and things like that to get them, so bear that in mind. But yes, Street Sharks are one of the first lines that I will be hunting, and I'm wanting to get a full line of Street Sharks. Other than that, I'm hunting the 80s Thundercats. I really want to get the tank again. I can't remember what it was called, but the battle vehicle. I had that as a kid, and it was one of my favourite items in my collection, and I would really like to get that back, along with a line of the Thundercats figures. I'm not too bothered for some of the villain stuff, but I would like the original lineup of the Thundercats action figures. I'm just looking at my list. Next up, Kenner Aliens and Predators, obviously. As you saw recently, I got one of the Aliens versus Predators. It was the Stalker Predator, and he had the alien head on his chest, and his armor on his chest and stuff. And that was really cool, and it was like see-through. I've seen some of them look really cool, like the old Rhino Predator. The old Rhino Alien looks really cool in that Kenner style. And I love the fact that they're all old and blocky. I love that. So I'm looking forward to trying to grab some of those as well. Next up, I'm going to be hunting the rest of the Kenner Terminator 2 line. Something in particular that I do want to get is the old, you basically got the endoskeleton and you shoved it in the machine and you put the gunk in the top, and it gave him like a synthetic skin that you could then pick away at as he got attacked and beaten up. Like if you use some of the weapons or some of the other characters, you'd see the skin start to slash off, just like Arnie in the movie, of course. And of course there's the bike sets as well that I would like to try and get hold of. I haven't seen the play sets in some time, and it's mainly play sets that I like to hunt because I think they're awesome. As you see behind me, big play set fan. So yes, definitely want some of those Terminator 2 sets, especially that, I can't remember the name of it, but it was like a chamber, and you basically put your Terminators in, you give them skin and stuff. Really want that again. If I can find one with the gunk, so I can review it and do a full review, that would be awesome. Other than that, I want some more Star Wars vintage Ewoks. I'm not going to be hunting too much vintage Star Wars. As much as I love Star Wars, I do prefer the Black Series. I'm a big fan of Black Series. But when it comes to vintage Star Wars, as you guys have seen recently, I've been really getting into the Ewoks. And as you can see, Mrs. Super Sorrel, I believe, has been playing again because she's put a cat on there and a bunny rabbit. Mrs. Super Sorrel?
Yeah.
Is that you?
Is what me?
The kitty cat and the bunny rabbit.
Well, there was this.
I've just realised that as I'm talking, I've just turned around. By the way, you're on camera. Hi. I've just turned around and seen that there's a bunny rabbit and a cat having dinner with the Ewoks.
Well, there was a raccoon.
I don't remember the Wreck-It Ralph crossover. But yes, I'm looking for some more vintage Ewoks because I really do like the Ewoks. And I want to have a full village of them. And do you know what? If I can even find some more village sets so I can keep building my own village and make it bigger and attach them and things like that. So if anyone's got any more of the towers or even the Robin Hood sets, I would buy them so that I could do that. Speaking with that as well, I'm going to be hunting Planet of the Apes. I really have not touched on Planet of the Apes since I was a kid. I had a bunch of them in the old Kenner, and I think it was Kenner back then, yeah, I'm sure it was. I had like a play set as a kid, and it was like the camp or the base or something, and that was really cool. So I would love to try and hunt down some retro Planet of the Apes figures, but not only that, I have yet to touch on Planet of the Apes on this channel in general, and as a big Planet of the Apes fan, I think it would be cool to try and track down some of the modern stuff as well, so stay tuned for that. Other than that, I know I love my Batman and my DC, but there's only a few DC older figures that I would like to pick up. Mainly the Legends of the Dark Knight range. I want the Bane and the Scarecrow from that set. If I can get them on card back, that would be brilliant. And I'd love to review them for you on the channel. But if I can just get them loose, maybe, as long as they have the accessories, so I can do the full reviews on them. Because I loved that Bane as a kid. He was my go-to big baddie Bane that would break Batman, and then that Scarecrow, he'd spin him round. Oh, love it. Other than that, Kenner Ghostbusters. I sort of touched on that at the beginning. I'm not enjoying the current lineup that they've been producing. The Plasma series has kind of died. They tried to re-release some of the older products, and whilst it's fun to get a re-release of the toilet, there are so many like the Wolfman figures. They had like a Dracula kind of figure, and so many more good ones. I need Egon with his glasses that pop off and his tongue and his head comes up. I miss those figures. And I want the dustbin. There was like a dustbin man that tipped it upside down and put it on his head and like a monster came out. I miss all those figures, so I want those ones in my collection. Jurassic Park, yes. As you know, I've been getting into Jurassic Park recently, the more modern stuff. However, I'm not going to be buying too many modern toys of this because I do love the look of the old ones that I had as a kid. Whilst I've got the Jeeps and a Tim figure now and a T-Rex and a couple of Velociraptors, that's kind of going to be it from the modern line unless they produce more of the figures. I'll probably buy the figures, but I'm wanting to go and get some of the play sets from the old 90s sets. I can't say that word, sets. I stutter like crazy. So I really want the, you got the one with the main building with the Jurassic Park logo on it, the gates all around it like a paddock. I remember that set as a kid. And there were so many from the Lost World as well that I really liked. So I'm going to be hunting some of those down. And as well, I remember a little Velociraptor egg that had a Velociraptor inside. Need that. It was like that big, I think. I need one of those again. Randomly as well, I'm going to be hunting some of the 90s Disney toys. As you guys know, me and Mrs. Super Sorrel are massive fans of Disney. We go to Disney World each and every single year. And it's definitely one of those things that is our it's our thing. We love Disney. And if I can hunt down some of those old dolls, like the old Hercules toys, Tarzan toys, and things like that, I would be very happy. So, and as well, I remember back in the day, they had these little, like, they weren't, It was about the same time that Polly Pocket and Mighty Max was around. Disney produced their own with like these like open up play sets with the figures, and I know they did a Beauty and the Beast one. So I'm trying to track that down for Mrs. Super Sorrel so that she has a Beauty and the Beast play set, because I would love to be able to do that for her. And at the same time, I remember there being a Lion King play set as well, and I want that for me. As a massive fan of Scar and the hyenas, I need Pride Rock with the evil section. So I'm definitely going to be hunting some of those awesome 90s Disney's toys. Universal Monsters is becoming another favourite of mine, especially Dracula. And it's not just Universal Monsters, but I suppose we can extend this to horror toys in general. I am going to be looking for older horror toys that I've not collected. And I know that they released some toys from The Mummy, and Mummy's Alive and things like that from back in the 90s. So I'd love to grab some of those as well. But I remember there were some old Universal Monsters playsets, like Frankenstein's laboratory and things like that. So they'll be really hard to find, but that's the whole point of this list. It's things that I can hunt. And finally, McFarlane's Monsters. I know this is relatively not that old of a line, sorry about that over line, but I'm still hunting them because I miss them. I want the fairy tale stuff, the Alice in Wonderland stuff. I don't think the Alice in Wonderland was McFarlane's, I'm trying to think now. They made like a Wonderland set. I've already done a couple of the reviews on those, if you remember, but I need like the fairy tale stuff. Like I know he did a Red Riding Hood, and he did Hansel and Gretel. I would really like those. But as well, I know they did a Monsters line that included like a Dracula that was like a monster Dracula. I would really love that. And of course, any Dracula merchandise I can get my hands on all goes towards this Halloween, when I'm going to be doing a overview of all the Dracula toys I own. So I'm trying to hunt down as much Dracula products as I can. So bear that in mind and see if you've got anything for me to add to my collection in your collection that you want to sell on. Guys, I think that's everything there. This video's gone on for quite longer than I thought it would. So those are the toys that I'm currently hunting retros. Hope you guys are interested in seeing some of these appear on the channel. I am going to be doing a lot more retro hunting now that BP Toy Fairs are back, the Comic Cons are back. I'm going to be going to conventions, hopefully most weekends with my stall as well, as we try to launch my business. So I would love to try and hunt down some of these old vintage toys while I'm there. Guys, hope you're excited as me. I'm very excited to do this. I hope you guys are ready for the ride along. Guys, thank you very much for watching. As always, I'm your host, Super Sorrel. Leave a comment down below telling me what retro toys you're currently hunting in your collection. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and until next time, may the Force be with you. Bye!